Trust. God is trustworthy. He's reliable. I had a stepdad that was very faithful to his word. That was one of the characteristics he had. And for example, before I was a driver, and I was needing to be picked up, he'd say, okay, meet me at the corner of such and such at 12 noon, and I'll be there to get you. Man, my grandfather gave me a little watch when I was in elementary school, and I would, I enjoyed it. Was you wind it. It was for the battery watches, and I would see it ticking, and I had no doubt. I because my dad was trustworthy. It was like I'd just be there. There I would be standing. I'd be waiting. He'd pull right up, and it was like it had a seconds hand, and it would go click, and he'd just be right there, So that's good for me. I mean, because even my earthly father was reliable. I mean, our Heavenly Father is so reliable, so faithful, so trustworthy that it says in Psalm 37, do not fret because of evildoers. Be not envious toward wrongdoers, for they will wither quickly like the grass and fade like the green herb. Trust in the Lord and do good. Dwell in the land and cultivate faithfulness. The margin says something different. I can't really understand I understand cultivate faithfulness, that we, in fact, should adopt the behaviors of our Father and be imitators of God as beloved children. And since He's faithful, we should be true to our word. And I mean, right now in America, lying has become a thing where people use it as a means to get ahead. And not only exaggeration to make a point, but just outright lying. And they'll lie and lie and lie until people just kind of go, they've said it so many times, I guess I believe in them, when they're lying. The devil's the father of lies. And man, in the 10 Commandments, God was big against lying. And and God is, call every man a liar, but God is true. God doesn't lie. Somebody said, God, there's nothing God can't do. And my son whispered to me, oh, well, there's some things God can't do. He can't sin and He can't lie. I thought, wow, way to go. That's right. There's nothing God can't do. It's like, well, wait a minute. He can't go against His word. His word says that if we call on His name, we'll be saved. And He doesn't go against that. He set the legal things in motion, and He's trustworthy. Remember my dad picking me up at the corner? I knew a guy in Florida that his mother left him at a corner and abandoned him and never came back. He waited for hours and through the day. And he's this young kid. His mom and dad, they abandoned him. He's an abandoned young child, he was like, I don't know what happened to the circumstances of the parents. This guy, by the way, is still today. He's gone on to have an excellent ministry to children, like thousands. And he went up to New York and he worked with thousands of street kids. And every year he goes back. I met him and talked to him in his home state of Florida. We were at a funeral together, and that's when I met him. And he goes there every year to that corner and sits on that manhole cover and remembers, though his parents abandoned him and forsook him, God would never forsake him. I mean, I got really struck. No wonder the guy went on. And you know what he told me? He said, thank God I didn't get picked up by a street gang or a pedophile, or he named off all these things. He said, I got, fortunately, somebody that finally did come by that saw that there was something that wasn't right there. It was a Christian, a family person, and they were righteous, and they didn't mistreat him, and he got exposure to the truth of the gospel. And so, though there was abandonment and dysfunction and crazy rejection. He got in the context of people who understood that God is trustworthy. God is faithful. Trust in the Lord and do good. Dwell in the land. Cultivate or feed securely on his faithfulness. I don't think we do that enough. I have to always remind myself, wait a minute, God is faithful, but God is faithful. Nevertheless, the firm foundation of the Lord stands. God, many are the afflictions of the righteous, but the Lord will deliver them out of them all. And, if you're new to this, I want to tell you, Jesus is practical and he's good. And a life of acknowledging him, a life of reverence toward him, a life of trusting him creates assurance, peace, stability, and strength. Assurance, peace, stability, and strength. And I pray this will strengthen your faith a little bit, that God is present to help you right now in your time of need, and that whatever you're facing, man, cultivate faithfulness or feed securely on his faithfulness and say, Father, I trust you. Even Jesus said, in your hands I commit my spirit. He trusted the Father, sets the pattern. God's so trustworthy. He never changes. People vacillate, societies come and go, virtues, crazy behaviors and societies and kings and kingdoms all come and go, but his kingdom will see no end. His word is forever settled in heaven. His throne is forever. His word is a shield. Stand on it, trust God for it, feed on his faithfulness. God bless you.